Hey guys, driving out here in the garden. I wanted to share with you my experiences with the green stalk. Now bear in mind, I don't think container gardening is my thing. And so there are people who can get containers to sing, and that the plants that they plant in their containers are just happy, happy, happy. They grow, they produce. Not me. I'm not a container gardener apparently, and this year is just really driving that home. And so my experience with the green stalk. You can see all of the failed attempts. At this point, I've just given up. So I've just given up for this season. I'm just letting everything go. So this was supposed to be a bush bean tower, and I've got 2 little bays left, and they're plugging along. I'm honestly not sure what the problem is. It's not watering, because on these guys, on the lower tiers, when I dig down into the soil, that the like half down is just saturated, and by adding more water to it, it just makes it worse. So I think I drowned most everything in here. Was the problem. What it did do really, really well was my lettuces. It did an amazing job with the lettuce. The first year I grew peppers in it, all kinds of peppers in it, and they were maybe half size. They just didn't do well. They were stressed the whole time. They did produce, but barely. So I wasn't overly happy with it. And then I brought it over to this side. It was over on the other side, near where the herb beds are, but now it's over here. And it did, like I said, it did great with the lettuces. The lettuces were just super thrilled, happy, happy, happy. And so then, considering how well the lettuces did, I was like, ooh, this season I'll do a bush bean tower because I want a lot of beans so I can can them. Well, that plan failed miserably, because the first round of seeds were salted. The second round of seeds, I don't know what happened. Third round of seeds, they all came up. They're doing good. And then I transplanted them, and then they just didn't thrive. I mean, this guy, see how tiny that is? This guy has been planted for 2 months. This guy was planted before, where's the Dulcina? Over here. Before this guy. This is the Dulcina. This is what it should be, and that's what it is. It's just not growing. And even though I'm fertilizing it and it's just not happy. And so the dragon's tongue is another one that should be a huge plant, but it's not. And then the rest of them just died, so whatever. So yeah, these were all transplanted. They were not, I tried sprouting some in there. Well, that didn't go well. But the 90% of them were transplanted, and they still died. Let's see. So watering is fun. Let's see. Going up here, each of these tiers has a, let's see if you see that, this guy here? That is a water receptacle. That is kind of a reservoir. And when this is filled up, the water pours in and pours down and goes through a tunnel, and then fills up this guy. And when the water fills up this one to overtop the spout that's in that one, then it fills up and it goes to the next one. And it just keeps going down each tier. But do you notice these little holes? These are very tiny little holes, and they need to be tiny because otherwise the water will just pour out, and you don't want that. You want it to drip out nicely. But they're small enough that they get compacted easily, very easily. So, and I have no idea of knowing whether a tray on any one of these levels has been impacted, so that way this is not actually dripping water into the center of the bay. But there's another hole down in here, underneath here. So when water comes through here, it will come down and then also drip through. So even if this one is blocked, this one will drain through, and you'll get some in there as well. But then, you know, it goes downhill, just keeps going down and going down. And then there is a spout on the bottom, and I have it turned back because this is on driveway and I don't want to have water pouring all over it. So I block it until I can open it up and then drain it into a container. But that's how it's supposed to work, and it does work. I guess it works well. It's just, again, I am apparently not a container gardener, so this will be my last, I think my last ditch effort is going to be sticking strawberries in it. But I live in an area that is literally surrounded by thousands of acres of strawberry farms. I don't need strawberries. So if I put strawberries in it and they do well, okay. But it's not because I want strawberries, it's because I'm trying to figure out what can I do with this thing. Because it's an awesome idea, but I am not a container gardener, obviously, and I can't get this to work for me in the way that I've seen it work for others. So I am not in any way saying the green stalk is not working. It's working great. The problem is operator error, and that's my experience with it. So I will not be putting high value anything in here. And now that I've got my garden bed over there, I don't need this. And my husband keeps going, can we get rid of this because it's ugly? Well, if it was actually growing lots of things, it would probably be a really pretty tower with, you know, life coming down and all that stuff. But my husband's very much a orderly, rose and manicured and everything, and I'm very much like life. So he probably wouldn't agree with me on that front. But anyway, so that's my experience with the green stalk. And again, I don't think the problem is the green stalk itself, it's me. I know the soil did not get too hot, because it's surprising how cool the soil stays in that, because each bay holds an entire cubic foot of soil, which is a lot. Yeah, it's a great idea. I just can't make it work. Not for me. And then when I've got all these others, and then I'm going to be doubling it. Yeah, I don't need to fight with it. I've got other things to work on. So I will work on the areas that I know I can make happen, and then I'll let go the areas that I'm struggling with, because that's part of learning, is figuring out what are you good at, what are you not good at, and let's leverage the positives and focus on those, because you can improve what you're already good at much better and get more impact than you would out of trying to take a weakness and improving that. You get more mileage out of your money by focusing on your strengths than you would by trying to shore up your weaknesses. As long as those weaknesses are not critical weaknesses, in which case, you know, you're going to die if you don't do that. Well, I'm not going to die if I don't get a green stalk or any other container. The problem is not the green stalk per se, it's container gardening and me, and I am not a container gardener. I just don't have the discipline. I don't know what I don't have. But anyway, so there you go. There's my thoughts, my experiences. And just recognize that not every type of gardening works for every person. Know who you are and where your interests are and where your strengths are, and build on those. And it's okay if you're not great at everything, because, well, nobody is. But that's what makes the world go round, because we all mesh together to make a beautiful whole, like a tapestry. So anyway, that's my experience there. Okay, y'all have fun in your gardens. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep experimenting. Bye.